Hi everyone, I'm Raven from Raven Comics, and today we're going to see how Batman came back from the dead after his last fight with the Joker. We start at Wayne Manor. Bruce has just arrived with Alfred and asks him what is behind the clock. Alfred tells him there is nothing Bruce knows that leads to the caves underneath this place. When Alfred was telling him his story, he felt he was afraid because he knew he had a secret. That was why he stopped him. He wasn't the Bruce of before, they weren't his secrets. Now he knows he can't help but go back. There's something behind that door, and he has to see it. Alfred begs him not to go down there. After a struggle, he tells him he's not going down to that place. He doesn't have to, he's not the one from before. He died, and he died fighting that monster. The city gave him back, he's their boy, and he can't go back. There's nothing for him down here. You have to let Jim Gordon be the hero. Besides, he destroyed his machine. Bruce tells him that Mr. Bloom just beat up Jim Gordon on live TV. He may have died, there's chaos outside. Alfred tells him that someone else can fix it. Alfred is desperate and gets down on his knees to beg him not to do it. Bruce tells him that he is Batman, and it is time to take him to his cave. There is no choice but to take him down. Gotham City is being destroyed. Bloom is holding the city hostage. Bruce has to see if he has any chance of taking down his opponent. Arriving at the Batcave, Bruce asks how his machine worked. He wants to use it even though it is destroyed. Alfred tells him that it never worked. With the machine, he was supposed to be able to create one Bruce Wayne after another, so that each one would be better than the last. But in all the simulations he did, the patient died from the shock of the trauma he inflicted on them. Batman was too heavy for another living mind to handle. The project was a failure. Bruce could use the machine to implant Batman's memories into his mind, but that would surely kill him. Bruce tells him that something new could happen. A Batman could be born without the trauma, something better than he ever was before. Alfred tells him that it won't work anyway, because he already destroyed the machine's server. Bruce knows that if Batman is everything they say he was, then he should have kept a backup. Out of nowhere, the servers are activated purely by chance. Bruce said the words he had to say to reactivate the system. Although the server tells him that the machine will not be able to function in the current state. After a little searching, the computer finds a solution where we'll first have to activate the Alfred protocol. Bruce orders to activate it. The Alfred protocol is a complete backup of the memory disks. The last update was just after the final attack of the Joker. Bruce named this protocol Alfred because he is the one who always healed him when he fell. Alfred doesn't want the Bat to come back. Besides, what will happen to Miss Madison? Bruce tells her that he is already thinking about his life, about love. If this doesn't work, Alfred has to tell her that he loves her and he's sorry. But he has to try everything he could to help the people out there. She has to understand Alfred has always been there for Bruce from the beginning of both of their lives. He is the one who has always been there to help him become what he is now. Because he's the only one who understands, Bruce couldn't live with himself, knowing what he knows now and running away without trying to save his city. Alfred has to believe in him, believe he can make it all work again, believe he can be a better Batman than he was before. Now he has to start the process. They've already wasted too much time. After a hug, Alfred activates the machine. The machine is activated and Bruce begins to suffer. This is too much for him. Also, his vital signs indicate that he may die at any moment. The machine is tearing his mind apart. Alfred asks him to listen to it. This is not going to work. If he continues, he's going to die. Every time he restarts the machine, he puts himself on the brink of brain death. The living brain can't take what Batman was. Every time they beat his mind against him, they shatter him more. Alfred is not going to stand here and watch him die. Even the man he was understood that he could not try beyond death. Alfred spent his entire adult life with the desperate task of encouraging flashes of light. He spent his second life waiting for the return of the real Bruce, the one who never stepped foot in Crime Alley, and is now asking him to play the part of the Trigger Man when Joe Chill killed his father. Bruce tells him that's the only way he'll be able to come back. The Bat was born in that alley, and he has to live it all over again. Alfred doesn't want to do it and will turn off the machine right now. He doesn't want to be the one to kill him by making him remember that moment. Maybe Alfred won't do it, but Julie will. She wants Batman back. Mr. Bloom is on the streets causing chaos, tearing the city apart. Julie activates the button and Bruce receives a strong impact. This is about to cause brain death. Alfred tries to stop the machine, but it's all too late. Bruce is gone. Madison doesn't believe it's possible and is adamant that Bruce can come back. He's important to Gotham. Suddenly, there is a burst of light and a large number of bats appear. The process is complete. Alfred asks him if he is back yet. If so, you need to know that you have been away from the city for a long time. They are currently under threat. Bruce tells him that's enough. He has to save those comments for the car. It's time to go to work. The time to return has come. It's been a good break. But the city calls. They need their Batman back. Batman abandoned them when they needed him. However, he's about to return, and he'd better give them the best he's got. He'd better give them what they're waiting for. And then give them more. He's got to give them the Batman they deserve. The city's in chaos. No one's managed to take down the current menace. The new Batman, Jim Gordon, is all but finished and about to be killed. Before that happens, Batman manages to arrive in time to rescue him. The Bat asks him who was the one who died and turned him into Batman. Batman kills the first threat that was about to defeat Gordon. Alfred has no choice but to welcome him. Gordon brings Batman up to speed on the situation. Mr. Bloom has the ability to produce high-quality robotic seeds. These grant powers to their users, but this is in exchange for their lives. For weeks, it was distributing seeds in the neighborhood. Now there are many contaminated. On top of that, he seems to be emitting some kind of electromagnetic pulse, forming a big star. The energy from this comes from the seeds people took. Bloom is channeling it in the form of lightning. Practically, he is creating a strange energy that could destroy the entire area, probably the city as well. Batman knows that Bloom must have some kind of transmitter in his body, some kind of seed that absorbs the power of the other seeds. As long as people keep consuming it, the more powerful the enemy is going to become. Batman will do this his way, and he will do it alone. So, he ties Jim Gordon to a helicopter. The handcuffs have a GPS. When he gets to the hospital, he will let him go free. Batman retires, and Gordon wishes his old friend good luck. On the streets, Mr. Bloom is taking people's energy. The new sun grows and will increase until nothing can stop it. Perhaps his plan might have worked had it not been for Batman arriving to stop him. The villain is honored and likes his new suit, new cape, and new gloves. Batman is partial towards the boots, saying that he attacks him from behind. Batman finds the seed that receives the energy transmission in his back. The Bat is about to finish him off, but first someone stops him. Batman was stopped by an army of bats that was created by the Powers companies, same that were created when they absorbed his company. Now they are against Batman, since Mr. Bloom is also controlling them. For Batman, this is strange. It seems that he was absent for a long time. On the other hand, Gordon is in the helicopter. He will not go to the hospital until he helps Batman to end this threat. They have to remove Mr. Bloom, the main seed of his back. Mr. Bloom, seeing that the helicopter has not left, will go after Gordon. Meanwhile, Batman will have to take care of other business. That is because old friends have just arrived for him to play with. Batman finishes off two of them by blowing them up, but their passage is interrupted by a larger armor that Batman will have to face. Elsewhere, Jim Gordon has arrived for another of Batman's armor, the Project Armor. If you're wondering how Gordon managed to get out of the helicopter without going to the hospital, well, he got out with everything and the door where he was tied. Gordon insists on helping Batman, and the only way he finds to do so is by using the armor, which has an energy blocker capable of counteracting the attacks of Mr. Bloom. But before activating it, Mr. Bloom manages to get to him. Gordon escapes from his attacks. Bloom tells him that no one will be able to stop his plans. Today, there will be a new dawn. After this, the city will be a beautiful and wild garden, a city with flowers. Out of nowhere, someone arrives and gives a strong blow to Mr. Bloom. The one who hit him was Batman, wearing a huge suit of armor. The Bat tells him that he has his flowers right here. He then gives him another blow with which he manages to knock him down. The people of the city are shocked to see who is back. Batman already realized that Gordon didn't go to the hospital, so he'll have to do his part. While Batman will try to remove the seed from his back, Gordon will go for the armor to try to turn off that energy star. Surprisingly, Mr. Bloom manages to get up and pierces Batman's armor with a single attack. Bloom thought Batman would be on his side. Now he just sees that he's another one of them, a damn gardener, probably someone rich and privileged. That will end right now. Batman receives more heavy attacks and falls to the ground. Batman's suit levels are catastrophic. Mr. Bloom picks him up and tells him that he is the hero of the people. He is the only one strong enough to see what this city is, a fallacy, a construct to be torn down, so that the people can be free. Batman tells him that he knows nothing about this city. Mr. Bloom is ready to finish him off once and for all. Suddenly, he is shot down. Someone shot him down using missiles. Batman asks who it was that helped him. He received help from someone who wants to help him. However, now it's Batman's chance, who throws himself on Bloom to finish off the seed on his back. Bruce tells Gordon that the star is getting bigger and bigger. He has to go out and make it disappear. The transmitter has been destroyed, yet Mr. Bloom is still alive. He asks him if he thinks that destroying his transmitter is going to darken his new sun. Many people have already taken the seed, so there is no need for the transmitter because everything is in the air. Immediately, Bloom stretches out his fingers to destroy the airship where Duke Thomas was. He was the one who shot it down with those missiles. Duke takes advantage of this to activate the ship's magnets and cause Bloom to become trapped in the ship. Elsewhere, Jim Gordon has managed to put on the suit. Jerry Powers communicates with him and asks him to leave the building. Gordon was about to do so, but first he will pick up an old welcome gift. This is the Batmanium, which will be able to function as a superconductor. The airship starts to burst into flames. Duke has no choice but to jump and use a parachute, but not before aiming the airship to where the big star is. To his misfortune, as he falls, Mr. Bloom destroys his parachute. So we see him in a free fall into certain death. Batman had taken advantage of his enemy being in trouble to get out of his armor and rescue Thomas. The people of the city are shocked to see that the real Batman is back. The blimp continues on its way to the big star where it crashes, causing a huge explosion. Mr. Bloom is completely absorbed by a blinding light. This is not over yet. They finished off the villain, yes, but the star was already self-sustaining thanks to the energy it had received. This is where Gordon comes in. He takes the Batmanium and puts it in front of the big star. In this way, it amplifies the blocker that his suit had, thus ending Mr. Bloom and all his plans to make a garden in Gotham City. Days later, Gordon recovers from the attack in a hospital bed. With his mustache already grown, he receives a visit from Jerry and Jarvis. Finally, they inform him that his recent actions have convinced the public to reappoint him as commissioner. To process this news, Jim leaves for a moment to the fire escape where he meets Batman. In front of his friend, Jim apologizes for not stopping Bloom before he caused a Joker-like tragedy. Batman points out to him that Bloom was no match for the Joker, since anyone who had lost hope in the city could become the new villain. Although the Dark Knight thanks him for what he did for the city in his absence, Gordon also apologizes for forcing him to abandon his life as a normal person. Batman confesses to him that the man he once was had died some years ago. Batman has to retire. Gordon knows he's already left his mark on the city, and it's not easy to do that. It's not easy to gain recognition from all these people. He is Batman, and the rest of the citizens have to do what they can do to say they were in this city. But if Batman is back, then it means that someone else will be too, and the Joker, who was thinking of ending his life, decides not to do so and to return at some point in the future. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe for more content like this. I'm TJ Prime, and see you in the next video.